Yes, hello tradies. Welcome to the Air Raid Siren. It's brought to you by the great people at HBF Health Insurance. Make the trade and join HBF, your health dream team. Mitch and I get the opportunity each and every week to go on a little bit of a rant if we so choose. Would you like the new ball, Mitchell?
Yes. Oh, there is the new ball again. So I tweeted something on the weekend that was just, I know you're not on Twitter, so you wouldn't have seen it, so I'm going to advise and inform you now as to what
Please
that
do.
was, and I'll articulate my point a little bit because the characters on Twitter, you're capped.
Was it 140 still? Or?
So on the weekend, Collingwood had their squad of 26 to play against North Melbourne.
Oh, you're big on this stuff. I know where this is going. Yeah.
So 2 late changes. Bobby Hill comes out through personal reasons, and our thoughts are with Bobby and his family through it's been a pretty difficult time, and Scott Pendlebury through illness. So 2 players out. They've got 3 emergencies. One of those emergencies come into the 23, Will Parker. The other 2 emergencies, Charlie West and Harry DiMattia, yet to debut at AFL level, weren't put into the 23. Collingwood sought exemption from the AFL to bring Oleg Markov, who was at Bunnings, shopping, getting ready to do some flooring in the afternoon at 3:30 p.m, from outside the 26 and brought him in to be the starting sub as one of the players. Now, the AFL ticked this off under compelling circumstances because of Bobby's personal situation. My question is, what is the point of emergencies when clubs can now do this and have this ticked off? I understand the personal nature, but there will be other circumstances like this. What is the point of naming emergencies on the Thursday night or the Friday night before games and them not using them? In my view, you should have to exhaust all of your emergencies before you start tapping into players from outside your squad. Now, if a club had 4 players go down with gastro, what I think you should have to do is use your 3 emergencies first and then go outside your squad. I just don't understand why those guys were named as emergencies but not used before Oleg Markov was brought in.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think, and particularly like if you think about the name that is used, like they are called emergencies for emergencies. Collingwood had 2 emergencies on the weekend, 2 separate emergencies through illness and through Bobby's family issue. You should have to use the 3 that you selected.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So it just makes a mockery of, and I know you've been strong on stuff like this. You've been strong on the injury lists.
Yeah.
And I am in complete agreement with you on all of that
The game
stuff.
it's not the biggest thing. It's just I felt this air raid was the right forum
good word.
to air this.
To air raided.
But I just think, wait till, we all take the piss out of Geelong, and I think they do flaunt it a little bit, but they never actually go outside their squad. They always use emergencies. And there's nothing, the AFL rules do not stop that. The AFL tick this off. Wait till Chris Scott finds out that he can access a squad of 40, not just his 26 on match day.
Yep. What was that?
That was an alarm.
At 9:30?
Yeah, because I thought we'd be done by now.
So what was the alarm telling you to do?
A story for me to follow up.
Oh, boy. You set yourself story alarms.
Yeah.
That's very clever. I should do that.
Do you ever think about a story and then you see it reported 3 days later and you're like, shit.
All the time.
Yeah.
But you get better at dealing with it.
Yeah. It's just a pet hate of mine. So whenever I have a thought now, it's straight in the phone, either as an alarm or it goes in the diary.
I like it. That's why you're the best. You done?
Yep.
Okay.
Again, just sorry, I'm not done. Not the biggest issue, just something to put on the radar. I think
I like it.
it needs to be made aware of.
I like it. Geez, the buys are awful.
Are they?
It's like it's a little it's like the AFL waving a mini white flag halfway through the year to be like, oh, we're all a bit tired. Let's just roll out some shit games. We don't really care about attendances. Viewership, well, we're all a bit. Let's just come on, guys. The players need a rest.
The players do need a rest.
So give them all a week off.
Shit games. Have you seen Friday night's game?
Unbelievable. Have you seen any of the other 5?
Just going through them now. Suns Dockers will be good.
Okay. At 1:20 on Saturday. Yep. I'll be excited to sit down and turn on 7. Oh no, wait, they don't have the Saturday games.
We've just got the same amount of games we've always had.
If you really want to go down that path, I'm happy to have the argument, but I'm just not sure you want to open that door.
Go for it.
Ratings have been smashed.
The ratings are up, I read in The Age on the weekend.
No, don't individualise it. The ratings are slightly up on Thursdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
But fewer people across the board are watching footy on Saturdays because of what the deal that the AFL and Fox and 7 did.
That's on Saturdays, though.
Yeah, Saturdays is the day for footy. It's the day. It's where all the games are on.
So, what you don't understand is last year there was 15 Thursday night games.
I know. I do understand this.
This year there's 24. So those 9 games have come from somewhere, and that is largely from Saturdays.
Yep.
There is more people that are going to watch those extra 9 games than they would have watched them on Saturdays.
Mitch, you can't be a host broadcaster and not broadcast footy on Saturdays.
Why not?
It doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
What do you mean why not? Because it's the main day where footy's played.
It's the day when there's the least amount of people watching.
Yeah, you and
We've had this debate a few weeks ago.
Anyway.
More people watch footy on Thursday, Friday and Sunday than they do on Saturdays.
Can we go back to the...
Now you're backing away from the argument.
I'm not backing away from the argument at all. 7 got in a room with the AFL and Fox and decided that they either didn't want or couldn't afford to broadcast football on the main day in which football is on. How does that happen? Like it's just because it's astronomically bad.
Because 7 are taking the game to more eyeballs than they ever have before.
No, but fewer people are watching though. Because there's no one watching on Saturdays compared to what they did when 7 had footy.
So
because fewer people can afford KO.
But take you back 12 months ago, there was 15 Thursday night games. Now there's 24. So those 9 games have come from Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, I understand that.
They've now been
disenfranchising fans
but there's
on Saturdays. That
more people are watching
footy.
More people are watching the footy on Thursday night. So
No.
you're taking them games out of slots on Saturday when not many people are watching and putting them into better slots.
I understand that that's what 7 are telling you internally, but it's the easy way to gloss over this is just to say, hey guys, we've got the same amount of free-to-air games. That you've taken
people do shit on Saturdays.
You've taken one full day out of people's ability to watch on Saturdays. People do stuff on Saturdays. Yeah, they do, but they might come home and watch Saturday nights. But now they can't. So if they can't afford KO, they can't.
Last year there wasn't footy on every Sunday.
What do you mean?
Well, last year, this is rough figures, but out of the first 11 weeks, there's only 4 or 5 Sunday Arvo games. Now it's every Sunday Arvo. So, I get what you're saying about Saturdays, but you take them out of Saturdays and you put them into Thursdays and Sundays. They're better slots. People do stuff on Saturdays. People have weddings, people have engagement parties, birthdays, school fates.
So let's just not broadcast the footy on Saturdays then. That's what's happened.
Take them to Thursdays and Sundays where there's more chance for people to watch.
Okay, well.
Jeez, we got a bit sidetracked there.
Thursday night's a horrible game. Brisbane v Essendon.
People will still watch.
But you're saying that with a dog in the fight. I'm not.
So, okay, if that game was on Saturday.
You're protecting your employer.
But if that game was on Saturday.
Yeah.
There'd be less people watching than when it's on Thursday.
But can we get to Saturday?
Yeah.
So Friday night's unbelievable. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Collingwood Hawthorn. Saturday, Gold Coast Freo.
Good game.
GWS Richmond. Sorry, I didn't hear that. GWS Richmond.
It's not a great game.
Sydney Adelaide.
There's a bit of intrigue around that. Can the Crows stand up at the SCG?
Melbourne St Kilda in Alice.
Are the D's finals bound if they win that?
Oh my God. West Coast Geelong. That is the AFL at the start of the bye rounds, just going whatever. What? Hang on. Hang on, Gary. What bad games have we? Yeah. Okay. GWS Richmond. No, put that in the bye round. Yeah. Okay. We're good.
There's shit games in every round.
Yeah, but so Mitch, there are only 6 games here.
Yeah. So what do you want?
You can't put all of the shit games when there are fewer games on.
They're not all shit games.
They are. 5 of the 6 are. 4 of the 6 are.
Swans Crows is a pretty intriguing game.
No, it's not. It's not at all. Sydney are 13th.
If Sydney lose that and the Crows win that.
Well, I think the Swans are done anyway. Let's go to round 13.
So what's your alternative here? Just have a whole week off.
1 full week off.
But then we'd be saying we're giving the NRL a free kick.
No, we're not. Who cares about the NRL?
That's the whole AF. Why is opening round on?
Well, they want to grow in the northern markets. I completely understand that. But we can't make decisions based on being worried about other codes. And we're doing our code a disservice by having 3 to 4 weeks of fewer games, which increases the percentage of the bad games.
Thursday and Friday night in round 13 looks pretty good.
Western Bulldogs Hawthorn on Thursday looks like a cracker. Adelaide Brisbane, yeah, okay. Richmond Sydney, awful. Gold Coast Geelong, pretty good. GWS Port, awful. North Melbourne West Coast. North Melbourne West Coast in Bunbury, they may as well just not play. And Carlton Essendon.
They've got to play at some point.
No, they're better off just tossing a coin and saving everyone 3 hours of pain.
My point is, if you said we had the week off, everyone would be like, oh, I wish there was footy on this weekend.
No, not if you market it right.
You work in the game.
Just have one.
You want the week off, but there's punters.
It's got nothing to do with
there's
that.
There's punters that footy.
Yeah, they build their lives over it.
Correct.
I totally understand that. But we're having 3 weeks where it was kind of just half baked.
There's some great games in there.
There's some okay games in there. Yeah, sure.
So what have we got? We got, on average, the same amount of good games we played if it was, over the 3 weeks of the bye period, there'll be the same amount of good games there would be in a normal 2-week window.
So I think you either
spread out.
play no games of footy or you just pick one. You pick one game to keep everyone interested. You put it on the Friday night or put it on Saturday afternoon and make sure that 7 can't broadcast it. And then you let the other 16 teams have a break.
Yeah.
And then you give the 2 teams that played a break later in the year. And so one week you might have 8 games instead of 9, which no one really notices.
Like we used to do with Collingwood and Sydney as a standalone in the split round.
So pick a standalone. And hey, by the way, maybe you want to make that the game in Alice. I love the fact that we're taking games to places like Alice and places like Darwin. We want to nationalise the competition. I'm fully supportive of that. But at the moment, if you're midway through round 12 and the game in Alice is a 3:20 game between Melbourne and St Kilda, you are not doing that game the justice that it deserves. Make it a huge game. Make Melbourne play someone big there. Like Melbourne already have King's birthday now. They've got the Anzac Day Eve. So they're against 2 big clubs in Collingwood and Richmond. Why don't you make it against Essendon, who they hate, or make it against Carlton?
Because Melbourne wouldn't want to take a game against Essendon to the Alice when they could fill more people at the G.
Ultimately, it's not their decision, Mitch. It's the decision of the AFL. The AFL run the league. The clubs don't. I know that in the last 6 months that has been hard to see because the clubs are off the leash.
You take St Kilda there because we saw what happened on last Sunday. They're not going to give up an Essendon a fixture.
I don't like the fixture. I don't like the new TV deal. I'm worried about what it's going to do to fans long term.
My view is if you had the week off in the middle of the season, people would be saying exactly like they do in the pre-finals bye. Oh, I wish there was footy on this weekend.
But not if you marketed it correctly. If you just said, "Hey guys, we're gonna hit the ground running next Thursday, but this weekend the players need a break. We're going to give them that. It'll keep them fresh. Enjoy some family time this weekend. Go watch a game of local footy." Instead, it's just
back to. I did think I did an air raid on this last year. I think Saturday Arvez should be almost wiped from the AFL.
Well, 7 were listening to you. They wiped it.
Yeah.
There's no footy on 7 on
Saturday Arvos. Yeah.
There's no footy on Saturday nights either.
Yeah.
It's completely gone.
Yeah.
But you're okay with it, apparently. That air raid went sideways on us really quickly.
I just don't understand. I know you said maths isn't your strong suit, but
this will be good. We're going to go back to the fact that you replace the Saturday games with the Thursday games because
more people watch on Thursdays.
Yeah, okay. Hey, what day is the grand final on?
It's on a Saturday.
I see. And
it's on. Where is it on? Where can you watch it?
7.
Yep.
So they are doing a Saturday game.
Yeah, the big one.
Oh, I see. So hang on. Let's just get this theory absolutely right. 7 got rid of Saturday footy because no one watches footy on Saturdays. But the only game that anyone cares about is on Saturday, so 7 are doing it.
I'll tell you what.
That makes absolutely no sense.
The funniest thing out of all this, more people would watch the AFL Grand Final if it was on a Sunday.
Because of viewers.
Yep.
Yeah, and you and I think we're on the same page on this one. Like put it on at twilight or night.
Or a Sunday.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. You need to maximise.
Yeah, but now we're agreeing, which is not what this segment's for.
Yeah, but you can't have it both ways. You can't say no one watches footy on Saturday, but then by the way, on the grand final, everyone watches footy, so we're going to put the footy on Saturday. You can't have it both ways. You got to pick one.
Maybe they should put the grand final.
No, but which one do you want?
Thursday night.
But see, now you're just being silly.
No.
Anyway, I know that as soon as one person listens to this, I'm going to get a phone call because this happens every time I talk about viewers and the grand final. And the same person, I look forward to your call.
Were there initials?
No, I'm not going down that path. Thanks for listening to the Air Raid. If you're listening from the AFL or from Fox or from 7, we apologise in advance. See you next week.